Welcome to the Shootin The Que podcast presented by Heath Riles BBQ with tips, tricks, and an inside look at some of the top pitmasters in the game. Now here's your host, Heath Riles.
Welcome back to another episode of Shootin The Que. Today I'm joined with my lovely wife, Candace. How are you doing today, honey?
I'm doing all right. Got a little cold coming along, but...
Well, I mean, it happens. We have been around a lot of people lately.
That's true. We were at that event in Cape Girardeau, and I wonder what the attendance was. I feel like the attendance was high at When Pigs Fly.
We just got back from the When Pigs Fly event in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, and it's an event put on by Smoking Brothers, who builds pellet grills and things like that. And it's called Back to Blue or Back to Badges, basically anybody that's a first responder comes to this event and raises money, and they're paired with people like us. And it was a great event, but you ask about how many people attended. I know that they sold about 900 pre-sale tickets. And so I'm going to say it was at least 2,500 people there at one point during the day.
This was only my second year going. It was your third year. But which last year, weather kind of contributed a little bit, I think, because they had some ice and snow around, and
it was
more
cold.
Was coming.
But
it was very cold this year, but there was no ice and snow really. But I remember looking up at one point, and it was packed in there.
It was. So
like shoulder to shoulder people everywhere.
I mean, once we really got there and got started cooking, I mean, they give us a case of chicken thighs, and I know me and Lambert started trimming on those, and then Jake and Dustin got to trimming on the pork loins. And we just kind of rolled right into it. And talking a little bit about it, it was at the Show Me Center at Southeast Missouri State campus, and it was an indoor kind of event. You know, all the smoke was kind of sucked out with the ventilation system they have inside. So it was kind of cool to be inside. And
I think all the smoke was in my hair.
I had to come out of my hoodie. I kind of got warm in there. I was in a short sleeve shirt most of the day once they shut the main door, once we loaded in that morning. But it was, I liked it. I mean,
yeah, it's a good event. You don't realize that it's smoky in there while you're there, but I think when you leave and go to bed and then wake up the next morning, you feel like you've smoked a carton of cigarettes, or at least I did, and I don't even smoke. But I think just breathing that in.
Well, you say cigarette smoke.
Well,
that's hickory smoke. That ain't no Marlboro or
I don't
Pall
smoke,
Mall,
so I'm just
Newports. That ain't no that.
Menthols.
Yeah,
the menthol.
You didn't smell no menthol up in there. It was all hickory pellets.
No, I smelled like wood smoke.
For sure. Well, I mean, so talking about, we made the trip here from Memphis up to Cape, and we took the van up, and we had everybody ride with us. So Jake didn't. He come over because he had to work, but Delbert Palmer rode with us, and Slade Douglas and Dustin Davis, and our chauffeur
didn't ride with us.
Oh, that's right. Dustin didn't ride with us. He drove himself because he would bring the product. Jacob was in there. Austin Dykers.
I don't know why.
And
we'll get to that.
And then Mitchell Bedwell was a driver, and that was good. And we did get to stop at Lambert's on the way up. And
anytime you're going to be near a Lambert's, you make a stop. Which
I want one of those rolls thrown at me.
You didn't even eat a roll that time.
Oh, I know I didn't. I couldn't help it. I was eating fried potatoes.
I know. That's why you go. Like, that's the main reason I think you go there. And you get so mad when they don't. If somebody comes around with something else, he's like, "Can you please send the potato person here?" I'm not interested in that, but send the potatoes.
I don't know
please.
what it is. That's really all I care about.
They are very good
the fried
there.
potatoes. I mean, I like other stuff, but the fried potatoes is good.
They are very good there.
I mean, for sure.
But the rolls are good too. I had a roll. Well, half of a roll maybe. They're so large. Can't eat them all.
Well, then we went on up to Cape and got unloaded and kind of got set up and things like that, and met our team that night at the kind of meet and greet event inside the casino there. And we were paired with the Marine Corps League, and we worked with Ray Lynn before when she was part of the SEMO vets. The first year that I done it, yeah.
But I met her last year.
Oh yeah, great. And the Marines done a great job. They helped roll meatballs and things like that. But they done a great job at policing kind of
the crowd.
People and the crowd out there, which was pretty cool. We had samples on the table, and we were giving away some rub and stuff for donations, to kind of help seed that along with some of the food. And we seen one guy kind of grab a T-shirt and walk off, and the Marine Corps gentleman was like, oh, that's for a donation. You give that back for a donation. I mean, they were straight catching them, which, it's not a big deal, but it was kind of funny.
But that was the point of the event, to raise money for the charities. So,
well, and talking about that, we actually won the event for the third time in a row.
We did.
We barely beat Bob and Mo by $100.
So they say.
I mean, that's what they say, $100.
Mo was not happy about that.
I know. He wanted to win, but it happens to the best of them.
Maybe next time.
I've been short my whole life. That's what they say. But it was a great time. And the other captains along with me was Bob and Mo. You had Tim Shear from Blues Hog. You had Misty, Seattle Butcher's wife with RJ Smokehouse. You had Miss Megan Day, Miss Sonny Lynn, and Miss Michelle O'Gwen. Josh and Jeremy DeWitt with JDQ. John David Wheeler and David Mixon was along with Megan Day.
Yeah.
So I think Matt Griner was supposed to be there, but he had something pop up.
Yeah.
But it was a great event, and it was a lot of our other friends were there cooking in the state contest and things like that. But it was just so much going on that I looked up and it was like 4 o'clock already, and we walked in the event doors like at 6:35 that morning to start getting ready, 15 to 7, something like that.
It was early,
but I know it kind of flew by pretty fast. I felt like
I don't know. I feel like I worked hard at that event.
Well, I know everybody started hitting the bar pretty good.
Me and Jake were like putting some food out. Well, Delbert manned the grill, like you said, but as far as like building the sandwiches and tacos and crostinis and all the different stuff.
So let's talk about what we made. We made some, they give us 14 pounds of ground pork. And so we took and made some meatballs with some eggs and panko, and we chopped up some bell pepper and onion really fine, and Cajun Creole seasoning, and I think we put a little bit of beef rub in it, and then come back and mixed all that up really well and rolled out everything, and we made almost like a hint of a cherry barbecue sauce to glaze the meatballs with.
Like while they were.
And then we took pickles, chopped up, really fine, minced up, and made a really good Romulade sauce. And I thought those were great. How did you like them?
I thought they were good. They were different. I thought the meatball was good, and I thought the sauce was good. But honestly, I don't know if they were just the best together. But I guess because I'm not used to having that type of sauce with beef. Yeah, it wasn't bad, but it was different.
It was very unique. It had a twang to it for sure. I think one of the biggest hits was the buffalo chicken sliders with the grill of pickles that we did.
Yeah, I ate like 2 of those myself.
Drizzle ranch and on a Hawaiian roll. And all we did was just use our new buffalo seasoning, and we dumped a whole bottle over about 15, 20 pounds of chicken thighs and let them marinate, and just cooked them on the pellet grill.
Chopped it up when they were done, and I think they did add a little more seasoning. Like
they did. Toss a little more
when we were making the sliders. But we just did a pickle wedge or a pickle chip.
Now, I know before when we first started, we chopped some and we drizzled some pineapple habanero glaze over the top of the buffalo. And I thought it was really good. We served that in a taco shell.
Yes.
And it was really good, but I didn't have the right slaw for it. We made some slaw for the barbecue sliders and the other tenderloin sliders that we were doing.
Salsa was on it too, like a mango salsa.
Yeah, it needed like a mango coleslaw, though.
I didn't actually try that one because that was one of the first things we put out, and I didn't get to try that sample, but I think I tried everything else.
It was good. We kind of switched it up, and we done that sliced tenderloin on the garlic crostinis with goat cheese and a drizzle of barbecue sauce.
That was a pain. I'm not going to lie. It was good, but if we do that again, we need to look at
bigger crostinis. Not
even that. We need to look at like crumbled goat cheese, because we had goat cheese logs, and everybody's hand, like mine and Jake's hands, were sticky from trying to cut a little piece. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Maybe we made it work. Cheese cutter, you know what I mean? Cut a little disc.
Something. Or maybe we even said like, you know how you can make like a whipped cheese of some sort. So maybe like blend it, and that way you could have it like in a little squirt thing for like a mousse or something like that. Is what me and Jake were talking about.
That makes really good sense.
That way you could just squirt it on there.
Like spreadable, squirtable,
yeah. That way you're not having to, because all the other stuff that was in squirt bottles, it goes a lot quicker that way, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So we just need to plan a little better on that part next time, which we probably won't do that next year, but if we do something similar.
Yeah, I don't know. And
It was good.
It was real good. It was real good.
And then we had pulled pork sliders with the slaw, and we added a little bit of barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm. And we got rid of pretty much all the food. We had a little bit of tenderloin left over is all we did.
Funny story about that. Did you see? So I believe it was Ryan's middle daughter. We had the grill lid open, and it was cool for the most part. It was not hot, but she kept running over there and grabbing a piece of the tenderloin. Then she'd go play some more, and then she'd come back. She'd grab another piece, and then she'd go play. And she just kept coming back to that grill, grabbing pieces. I thought it was funny. I should have got a picture of her.
His little girl?
He said it was his middle one, because we met the older one too, and then we met her. But I don't think we met the youngest, or I didn't anyways.
Well, I still can't believe we won by less than or $100. I mean,
allegedly.
I don't know. I think we took in about $1,800 in donations last year at our table, and this year we took in about 22 or 2,300. So it was up a little bit.
Well, so the way they did it this year too, which I mean they had something. Did they have something similar last year? I don't remember. So you could do cash. You could drop cash in the donation bucket, or they had like a QR code that took you to PayPal. But that was me and Ryan talked about that. I think next year they're going to try to make it more individualized, because that QR code kind of just took you to a page, and then you still were responsible to type what team you wanted to donate to. So if they could just make that individualized, like, okay, I'm scanning this and it automatically goes to Heath's pot or the Marines pot or whatever, that would probably make it easier on their end too.
Yeah, probably so.
And I think Ryan said he thought it was supposed to be that way, but there was just a little glitch. But
yeah. Hey, at least we had QR codes this year.
Yeah,
for people.
That way for people that didn't have cash, they had a way to donate.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I don't know. I know I saw them counting the cash almost towards the end, but there was still a little bit to go. So the last I heard the cash count when Raylan it was like close to 1,500 or 1,600. But the event was not over yet. There was still like an hour or more to go.
I think we wound up,
and that was just cash only, not the
Yeah.
QR stuff.
We wound up, I think, with a little over 1,700 in cash
maybe
total, and then whatever the PayPal was made it like 2,300, I think, something like that. So
yeah,
I mean, it was still a good time what we raised, and I don't know the total number with all the teams.
I don't know, but I know they put the results out, I believe, was it yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Because Bob was talking to us about, they did, I don't know if it gave the monetary differences, but it told like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Because I think, wasn't Megan and David and the nurses third place?
I believe so.
I think so too, if I remember correctly.
And I give them some money as well. I mean, we had the nurse team last year, and they were great, and
they
brought me some of their food.
Oh,
they were doing like this.
Well, they didn't bring me any of
this
it.
chicken on a fried wonton.
Oh wow!
And it had like a salsa on it and a sauce, and it was really good. It was very worth. I give them a $50 tip, and it was very well worth it. It was a really good bite. I mean,
I saw that they had like green punch made over at their booth too.
Yeah.
You know, like here in the South, we have that kind of punch when it's like a baby shower or a wedding shower. I don't think it was spiked punch, but you know, like the old granny punch.
Those girls work, but I mean, I'm gonna tell you, they were paired with Megan, and
she works
and
too.
David. I
got on to David over there.
David ain't no leader when it comes to them ladies like that. Megan is she don't mind the work. I will say that she puts in the effort for it, and I mean, she does a great job. Megan puts out good food. I mean,
I didn't try any of that. The only other food that I got to try was Bob's food. Because
I tried a little piece of pizza he done.
He always give him a hard time because you know he always cooks with us at Memphis in May every year, and he makes pizzas, and he always makes the pizzas really late at night when you or I are gone already or something crazy, and I never get it. So I always give him a hard time about how I never get any of his pizza. So he made like a whole little pan of little pizza bites he had made and brought them over to me, and I shared them all, and they were good with all of you.
They were really good.
He brought over some Oreo things they had done too, I believe. I didn't try those, but it was like a bacon wrapped Oreo with some kind of drizzle or something. I don't know. He set some. I know I'm not into the sweet, salty thing, so I didn't try it because I figured I wouldn't care for it because that's just my personal preference. But I saw some of the others try it.
I didn't try it. I didn't.
I think you might have walked off at that point because it was towards like the very end when he brought those over. A lot of people I did notice. A lot of people did dessert stuff this year. We didn't do anything like that because the team behind us that was with John David, they did like a peach cobbler towards the end. And then the bacon wrapped Oreos, kind of like a dessert. And then I heard when Sunny was up on stage, she said they had made like 3 or 4 desserts. Because, we were going through like, you were supposed to tell once we got to our team. I don't think y'all did it, but you were supposed to tell everything you made when you were up on stage. But once we got on down the line to you and Bob and Mo, and that wasn't happening anymore. But
we might have been. We might have had a cocktail or two.
But Sonny said that I think they made like 3 or 4 different desserts. I was just like, wow, I wish I would have gotten over there. That's my thing is, I'm always down to try dessert more than I am barbecue.
And for next year, I'm going to hone in on my recipes a little bit more and write some recipe cards because we know that we're getting pork tenderloin and chicken thighs.
I already have a dessert idea right now in my head for next year.
Well,
I hope Slade's ready to help.
I'm sure he will. Gonna do some peanut brittle.
Yeah, because he can make it with your glazes
on the grill.
I don't know about that, but
I wonder if you could make peanut brittle on the grill.
I think he made pecan brittle this past time.
That's right.
I don't. How hot does that grill get?
Pretty hot.
Because I've made brittle, and you have to like get it to boiling. Like you have to get candy to a certain temp before you can pour it out for it to harden right. Otherwise it will just be like a gunky mess.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to get it to, I forget the temperature. I know it's on my recipes, but
yeah, it's about like caramel and all that, right?
Yeah. But like you have to hit that certain temp or it won't turn out right. Just like you can't make, what's that stuff?
Divinity.
You cannot make divinity if it's raining outside. That is true. It is the truth. Don't try.
I mean,
it will come out like a big glob.
Now, my grandmother had some weird things about fudge too. She didn't want to make fudge when it was certain weather outside.
I've never heard like anything about fudge, but I thought the divinity thing before I had a child, I used to make all kinds of Christmas cookies and candies and treats and deliver them to all of our friends and family. And one day I'll get back to that, but right now I don't have time. But one year I was just like, it's fine. That's not true. So that was the day I had planned to make all this stuff, and it was raining, and my divinity did not turn out. Apparently that's true. So
that was a chewy mess.
Learned my lesson on that. It was more like a taffy.
Yeah. I mean, well, it happens.
But maybe we should look in the point of the story. Look into doing a dessert next year.
Well, dessert would be cool, but I guess we can try to do a little something. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's either that or you want to start serving cocktails.
They won't let me serve cocktails with stuff. They have a bar there. Remember, they asked us not to bring any.
They do have a bar.
So, yeah, we could do something with some dessert there for sure. But I have already made me a bunch of notes for next year and just about certain things about keeping all the way straight and all that kind of stuff. Well,
I think because we've had personal talks and talks with friends, a lot of people have used your glazes in a lot of dessert stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it would be easy to incorporate that into some type of dessert.
And I'm sure by next year I'll have some different kind of glazes. Just saying they might come out in May. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Working on that now, maybe. But talking about seasonings, we did use that new buffalo rub and the lemon pepper buffalo and the Parmesan garlic up there as seasonings. And everybody that tasted them, we were fortunate enough to pick up some cases before we left from the factory. Freshly run, and picked them up and carried 4 cases of each up there, and we passed out some to some of our teams that were there and things like that, and let some of the public try it and got some really crazy good feedback about them.
I heard when they were doing the steak contest, it's my fault for not knowing people's names, I guess, but They had 2 steak contests, A and B. I believe it was steak contest A. The gentleman that won 4th place said he used the Parmesan garlic rub on his steak.
Yep. That is
So
correct.
that's pretty cool.
That's what they say. I mean, so I don't know.
Seasoning. Seasoning,
it's very.
not rub.
These seasonings are very different
Yeah.
than what I've made in the past. They're really robust in flavor. So to see somebody use it on steak, I hadn't used the Parmesan garlic on steak, but I want to now. But I will tell you, the lemon pepper buffalo is really good on fish. Really good.
Well, lemon pepper is always good with seafood.
Just that hint of spiciness, almost like a Cajun type. It's really good. But we just dropped a new buttery buffalo wing recipe on YouTube as well, using the buffalo rub. So those would be good right here before the big game coming on. So I don't know. I'm about ready to cook some more of those Parmesan garlic wings. We did some of those too. That video will be out real soon as well. But those are going to be shocking.
You always go towards, even when we go to wing places, you always get Parmesan garlic.
I'm a mix. It just depends on what it is. I mean, it depends on what it is and what mood I'm in, and if they have all flats or flats and drummies. I'm a flat guy. Drummies are for dummies.
I don't know. I know we had some wings last night. You and Bob didn't even give me one.
Those wings were good. They were good.
I didn't want one. I was full.
And the pizza was good. Not as good as Bob's. It was good.
No, not as good as Bob's, but
Yeah, we actually have Bob in town this week. He's here with us hanging out, working at the warehouse with some product stuff that he's doing and getting everything ready. And we're going to start slinging some pizza dough hardcore. So getting ready to make some pizza dough today and cook some pizzas tomorrow and all that too. So should be a good time with Bob. So be looking forward to some of that coming out. More in detail video about some pizza stuff and some tips and tricks from the man himself. Because he sure knows a lot more about pizza than I do. And he swears up and down we're going to cook a pizza on a flat top. So I know it can be done, but I've never done it. So I'm looking very
y'all going to be
fortunate
cold.
to that. It probably will be chilly tomorrow, but we can, I'm like Reba. I'm a survivor.
Well, Bob's used to the cold. He's from Philadelphia.
Yep. Them old Philly guys, they love their cheesesteaks up there, don't they?
Oh, gosh. Let's not go there.
Well, don't worry. I might be cooking a new cheesesteak, too. I'm going to add some bell
make
peppers.
A buffalo cheesesteak.
I'm going to add some bell peppers on it. Yeah, I'm going to make a buffalo cheesesteak.
You can make a buffalo chicken cheesesteak.
Buffalo chicken cheesesteak. That does sound really good. It does. But I do have another idea for another cheesesteak. I'm not going to say it right now. Somebody else put one out. But I've got an idea for one. I'm going to do one, a different flavor of one. So I'm still working all that out. Perfecting my recipe before I come out with it.
A flavor that's going to make the whole world angry again.
Nah. I'm just going to do it.
TikTok's working now. So
I'm going to do a deep dish Philly sub.
Deep dish Philly. Okay.
I'm joking.
Well,
Maybe we should make a thin crust Chicago style pizza. And with that note, I'll catch you next week on another episode of Shootin The Que.
If you have any comments or suggestions for future episodes, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media channels. Leave us a review if you've enjoyed the show. And until next time, keep shooting the Que.